Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
Hi, Tracy.
Guys, Tracy is nervous about this interview.
Yeah, you know why? Because I don't do interviews anymore, and I don't really talk about stuff that we've done in the past. So I know that you guys really want to talk about
Yeah,
Jerseylicious, and it's so traumatizing for me. So I get so my palms are sweating.
Aw.
dying. Well, I feel like before there was Real Houses of New Jersey, because we didn't start watching New Jersey until season 3. What year did you guys get cast to be on the show?
2010 they started casting us,
Okay. So yeah,
and
so
then
Jersey has just started.
2011 I think it aired, and
Okay.
then we went till 2013.
Okay. And how old were you when you started?
21.
20?
Wow.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would never want anyone to see how I was at 21.
You know what?
And
I was always very work related. So I was always very headstrong. I really wanted to work my whole life. And I had just got out of beauty school and I was very excited to get in the beauty industry. So I jumped at the opportunity without really thinking about what it would bring or not bring. I just thought oh my God, a great job at a really, really nice salon and whatever. But then I didn't realize that I wouldn't actually be employed by the salon. I was employed by the production company.
and were you thinking it might be like a Jersey Shore because Jersey Shore
No,
came out.
Jersey Shore came out the exact same time. We didn't even know.
Oh,
Okay.
So we were
wow.
all supposed to be in a house together and live together, just like Jersey Shore. And then our producers caught wind that this show was coming out, and we're like, oh, we have to change it up a little. So instead of the house, we'll
Whoa.
all have them all work in a salon together.
Okay, so how did it come about? How did you get involved? I mean, you said it sounds like, I'm watching back. So I've watched season 1, season 2. You were a hustler. You're like, I just want to get to Fashion Week. I just want to do all this.
Yeah.
So tell me how it all came about.
So they found us on Facebook and they called me and they were like, because Olivia had been cast first, and then Brielle was cast, and then Jackie was cast. And Jackie was like, I'm friends with this other girl who would make a really good villain, anti Olivia. So it would be great to bring them together because they would make TV. She's really, really sassy, whatever. So then they called me and I was like, I'm not doing that. There's no way. And then they started throwing numbers at me. And at 21, when you're like, oh, I could make this much a year, I was like, okay, maybe. And then they're like, don't worry, it'll be so fun. Who doesn't love, Sonny from General Hospital? He's the villain and he's so fun. And they painted the villain as such a good character. And I was like, it does sound fun. The villains in Disney movies are the best.
Yeah.
And I was told that it was going to be more of an edited show. And then when I started filming, I was like, oh, it is edited. Everything is fun. This is fun. I love this. And then the billboards went up after season 1 and it was new reality show. And I was like, hold the fuck on. You guys did not tell me this was a reality show. And they're like, well, that's just how it ended up. And I'm like, but
Oh,
nothing about this is real. I didn't even date Lorenzo. And you guys made it seem like I dated him because I
Wait,
thought we were playing a part.
that is
wait,
crazy.
you didn't date Lorenzo?
No, we can call him right now and he will tell you that I've been friends with him for 20 years and we've never kissed outside the show, that we weren't paid to kiss on the show.
Okay, so I'm watching back, and when you and Lorenzo break up, I'm like, wow, Tracy is strong. She doesn't even
No,
give a shit
because
that
I didn't
they
give a
broke
fuck
up.
about breaking up with him. He wasn't my boyfriend. But they knew that they wanted Olivia to look like, wow, poor Olivia, Tracy took her boyfriend. And then Olivia dated my real boyfriend, Mike.
Yes.
That
And
was real. And I really dated him and had a really tumultuous relationship with him. So then I went into trauma mode because they brought him onto the show. And I was like, I can't date this man. We all signed up in a pilot, and Lorenzo filmed the pilot with us. Olivia knew she was going to be filming with him. I
yeah.
did not agree to film with Mike.
Does okay? Does
So got
Olivia?
dirty.
Well, did Olivia
Yes,
know?
it was.
Yeah, did Olivia know that you guys aren't
Yeah.
actually dating?
Yeah, the whole time.
Okay. So was this Olivia thing real? Before the show happened?
So I was never friends with her. We all had very mutual, it was MySpace era. So when
Hmm.
everyone goes out, everyone knows each other. But I think we had known of each other, but never were friends. We had just mutual friends. Jackie was our mutual friend. And I had no problem with her. When we got on the show, they were like, we want you two to be the main people and we want you to fight. And I was like, okay. okay, like I could do that. And then she was like, I could do that. So then we did that, and then it started developing animosity. And
Because
then,
you guys would both say really low blows to each other. Like even in confessionals. In confessionals,
yeah, well,
you would say like you would say something like mean about her, and then she would say something really mean about you. So I'm like, I feel
right.
like
And that's why I'm like, it's so funny how I was the bad guy when it was mutual.
no,
Yeah.
it was mutual because I'm watching back now and I'm seeing both confessionals, and she's saying something that I would probably be like, oh my God, like, you know, why would, you know, that's embarrassing. Don't say that. And then you're saying stuff too. So
So
But I
how
remember.
confessionals worked for us was that they sat us down and they had a script in front of them, and they were like, we need you to do all these lines. And they fed us lines. And we were there for hours under bright lights, and we just wanted to go home. So when we would
Yeah.
fight and battle with them and be like, I don't want to say that, they'd be like, well, unfortunately, we can't leave today until you say it. And so they'd keep us there and break us down, feed us coffee and coffee and coffee to hype us up, and then say something like, oh yeah, I didn't know Olivia said that, we should tell her about, and then amp me, and then they'd get me to say what they wanted me to say, and like I'd be like, I just want to go home.
I
yeah.
can totally see that now for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
no,
there
this
were
sounds
times like
worse than anything we've heard of.
sorry, people keep calling me, that's
Oh,
annoying.
Put your phone on do not disturb.
Oh yeah, how do I do that? I didn't know how to do that.
You scroll it
okay.
down and then you put
Yeah.
do not disturb.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So this sounds like way more intense though than any Real Housewives. Like, yes, they amp them up and they'll tell them like, oh, this person said that, and to respond, but it's not like they're feeding them a script and stuff,
Oh
you
no,
know?
it was the script.
So did Olivia really do makeup? Like, did she really want to do makeup? And did you actually,
Yeah.
did
And
you
she
do?
was good at it. She was good at it. And I did hair, and I also did makeup, but they wanted Olivia to be makeup and me to be hair because that was the battle that they knew they could always put us on clients together.
No wonder, because you would pick up doing makeup for people, and I was like, why is she doing that? If
Because I
I would be
can't.
pissed, you know? Yeah, because I'd be like, no, don't touch my face if you don't.
Yeah.
That is so crazy to me. Okay, so how did Gail get involved in this?
So
Like,
they
how
needed
did she agree to it? You don't think like a Gail would agree to something like this?
oh, it was phenomenal exposure for her. And
Right.
they had always, her ex-husband Danny had always been in the spotlight. He created like something that was like a face guard for hairspray. Like he was
Oh.
always doing infomercials. Like their place, the Gatsby, was it was on TV before for like infomercials, and that was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
So they were like not shy to television, and they were paying us. So she was like, hold on, basically my rent is free. I'm getting free food all the time. We get exposure. We
Wow.
want to do like, it seems like a gem for her because it's like it's not going to hurt her business, except for none of us actually worked there. We would film at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a day at the salon, and it was like dark, and they'd put lights to make it look like it was daytime.
That
Wow.
is
You know what's
crazy.
so crazy about you saying that is one of our listeners, his name is Vinny. He's so funny. He went to the Sonic to like record when it all happened. And he was so young at the time. I'm like, I can't believe you were watching this so young. And he said, I would always see them filming at 1 a.m. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm not lying. That's how that we never worked there with real clients. The clients were all hired extras. They knew what they were put there for. And it would be like somebody just, I posted on my Instagram before a screen conversation that someone said, I remember being like, it was like a 3 hour or however 30 takes or whatever, because you wouldn't say the bitchy thing they wanted you to say, and they were like, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do this scene until you say it. And she's like, they wouldn't even let me get out of the chair because they were like, we need this line from you. And I wouldn't say, because I was like, I would never say that to somebody. And they were
yeah,
like, well, we need it. And that's why people are so naive, and they're like, oh yeah, producers put stuff in your mouth. No, literally, I was contracted to say exactly what they wanted, and they knew they had me. And I was a child. I was 22 years old at that point, season 2, when I realized and woke up like, wow, I'm not doing this. Like, you guys posed me as this character that I'm not. I'll fuck a bitch up for sure, but like, I'm
yeah.
not gonna just pick on people and bully people for no reason. It's not me.
How much were you getting paid season 1?
This is gonna be the most embarrassing thing you
I know,
ever
I'm so
heard.
scared. But this is
So
2010 though.
me, Olivia, and Gigi were paid double everyone else because we were known as like the 3 main characters, and everybody else was technically like a secondary character, even though everyone played what I feel like was a number one role in
Yeah.
everything. We made $3,000 an episode.
Okay.
That's
And
not
then we
even
got a wardrobe stipend at some point for like clothes and shoes and jewelry and makeup. But we would get a call sheet the night before to our email, and it would be like, this is what you wear, this is what you're doing, this is what you're fighting about, this is who will be there. We need to take photos of this outfit in case we have to refilm the outfit. I still have photos saved in my phone of photos that they took of me holding scene 1, episode whatever, and I had to match that outfit. And you can see in the show now, if I tell you this, sometimes my hair wasn't curled the same way because it was a whole nother day, because they were like, you weren't mean enough, we have to do this again.
Wow. This is so crazy to me.
And
Okay.
I'm like, thankful that everyone thought we were such good actors. Thanks.
no, you guys really
No,
were, because
some things I was like, this is like a scene that I remember is like Olivia's coming out with Brielle because she's kicking her out of her house because you and Brielle became friends, and then you're there picking up Brielle and she's like, oh, it's a nice day, what are you doing here? And I was like, okay, that was so fake. And I was like, what is that?
I have not seen Olivia in 13 years.
oh
For 12
wow.
years, and we live 40 minutes. She's in the city, I think, and I'm here, or she's somewhere in New York and I'm here, like in Jersey. There's no reason why we would meet. I would run into her as many times as I did if it wasn't set up. I've never run into her in 12 years or 13 years at this point.
You kept running into her in clubs,
Restaurants, bars.
Yes. So that was confusing. So that stuff totally did come across fake. So, and yeah, because I did ask, I was like, did you know that she'd be there?
Yeah. Even season 1, when you got fired, was that real?
No, I never worked there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So they were like, you're going to get fired, but I promise in the end you'll be justified. So go really hard at this scene, because at the end, Anthony's going to end up apologizing to you, or Gail's going to say, we need you back. Like, you're not going to end up looking stupid. And I was like, okay, like it is what I have to say, what I have to say. And then like the only things that were real were the Sonic fight was real-ish. I just found out that morning that she was bringing my ex onto the show. So that anger was real. But the length of the fight was an hour something long. And the things that she said to me to get me to the point to like spit at her, I'm not the person to do that. I would sooner fist fight you and not spit at you. But I was like, I'm 22. Am I gonna get in trouble? Am I gonna hurt? Like, I didn't know what the rules were because there was no fighting before that.
Yeah.
So I was like, the only thing I could think to do in the moment of anger was do that. And do I regret that part? I think it's disgusting. Of course. I think like, what a trash bag. Anybody would think that. But the things that she said to me, like, you're a fat, ugly tranny, no one likes you. I could do like the things that were said that will build on you. And I'm like, it's just horrible things, like for a 22-year-old young impressionable girl to be hearing about herself in the moment of you're finding out that you're now forced to film a reality show with your ex it was just too overstimulating, and I snapped, and that was a real fight. But after that, like it was downhill from there, because then she was like, oh, I can trigger her, and producers were like, now we can trigger her, we know what'll take her off.
Well, now you guys really do hate each other at this point. Like
I don't really hate her. I don't care. I think she's so irrelevant. I hope she's doing something with her life, because the things that you hear in how small New York and New Jersey is, not positive.
Yeah.
But I hope they're all fake and rumors, because that's upsetting.
Is she married? Does she have kids or anything?
No.
Okay. Okay. So she doesn't. Okay. I haven't seen. I have to go like look into that.
No.
So we'll get more into the Sonic stuff, but was lateness really your biggest weakness? Because you would
still is to this day.
Okay.
I think it is so disrespectful. As it was, I was here with you guys at 11:40 trying to figure out, make sure it worked, because I was like, what I will not do is hold them up in case they have stuff. So this is your business. Like I would never do that. I just think lateness is such a blatant disrespect for anybody else's time. It's like, your time doesn't matter. But it wasn't like she was showing up 15-20 minutes late. In the real world, when we would get our call sheet, it would be like 10 a.m. hair and makeup, camera ready, blah blah blah, in this outfit. I would show up and then wait 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yeah. Oh my God.
For this person to show up. And I'm like, by season 2, 3, I was like, I'm no longer driving myself. I'm not getting ready until I get a physical text that she's up and getting ready. I'm
Wow.
not coming hair and makeup. When I get there, I will do hair and makeup because I'm not going to sit there in hours, sit there, wait. My face comes down, my hair comes down. I'm not going to look like shit so she could come show up,
Right.
like on
No,
her own time.
yeah, no, that
It
was
seemed like there was so much partying probably that like it was like
season
hungoverness
2.
or
She
something.
looked like hungover a lot and
Mhm.
stuff. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they had us, we were filming 22-hour days and they'd be like, just a little longer. Like, let's do a coffee, let's do a Dunkin' run and blah, blah, blah. And like, we were like, it is so late. I can't be on my feet anymore. And they're like, a few more hours. It's fine. And I'm like, this was child labor. I'm not even fucking around. This is child labor. We were
wow.
It
filming
sounds
insane amount
crazy.
of hours. I mean, all hours of the night.
And so, like, did you ever think I'm gonna leave the show?
I
Or
couldn't. I was contracted.
okay.
I
So,
Mm.
threatened so many times. And
oh, you
they were like, okay, Tracy,
yeah.
we'll
And
just sue
you're
you.
also like probably really young at the time. Like, social media wasn't as intense. How
Right.
was social media response and things like that?
So funny because when I left the show, I remember being like, wow, we have social media. This is so cool. Like, we were getting paid to go to like bars and restaurants and host and for posts. Like, I was getting like $3,000 to get like what I made in one episode, I was getting in one post on Instagram and I had like 200,000 followers. It was like
Yeah.
not an extreme amount. And then I got married and the following built. And then I had babies and it built more and built more. And I was like, wow. And then I just kept like promoting my life and it was building and I was like, wow, people like are still following me and I didn't understand why because I was like, I'm not relevant, the show is not on, I don't know why anybody cares. And then here we are in 2024 and I'm still like getting paid to post things and I'm like, like I don't understand, like when do they let you go, like
Right.
when do they not care about you anymore?
We're
And I'm
never
When you
gonna
still,
let
have
you go.
when you have followers, that's all that matters. So
yeah, but like I don't like see life like that because like I go to like regular kid stuff and they're like, oh my god, your mom has so many followers and I'm like, I can't even process that, like these
right.
kids are like thinking that way because like for me I grew up without that.
Exactly. No,
I
I
don't
get
know.
So I watched the episode where you guys all had to wear black. You guys legit went into depression. You guys kept, bringing it up. Gail was saying like you guys always look like circus clowns. When you watch like confessionals of like Gail saying that, talking about your guys' appearance, did it affect you or no? Because you knew.
Yeah, well, we all had the same script of what we were supposed to say, and we knew that. And there were times where I'd go in the next day to work, and I'd go into Gatsby, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, wait until you see the confessional I did." I was like, "You should have seen Gail's hair; she was a disaster." And she's like, "Wait till you see what I said about you." And I'm like, "We are sick bitches. You can only laugh about it because you're like, this is our job, and like as long as we're all on the same team." Like I'm not affected by it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I know that they're making fun of me. I know the things that they've asked me to wear, or like how to do my hair or what. I was just like, this is so ridiculous. Or, but I was like, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because at the time, like when we were watching it, like when it was airing, we would never think it was to me. Like maybe now when Roxanne's watching it, she's like older and she sees it, but we never thought it was fake. So it's so wild that
I know.
I
I
never
just
thought it
People
was.
think I'm lying about it being fake, and that's why I was like posting all that shit because I was like, Philly, Frankie, Gail, all these people are confirming this was a fake show,
Yes.
and nobody's getting it. And I'm like,
But what if someone called it to the salon? Because I remember, like, I was
they
like,
did all
oh,
the time,
they did.
all the time.
And then, okay, so like I remember like with Alexa, they made it like she was the best makeup artist ever. No offense, when I'm watching the makeup looks, I'm so scared, but she made it like the makeup was like the best ever. And I was like, at the time, I remember I was like, I would love to try this person. So, I mean, but she really does do makeup. But if they were to call the salon and want to book an appointment with you, how did that work?
They'd say that we're filming and we're not taking clients at this time, or she's already booked and doesn't have any she doesn't have any availability or whatever to lie to get us through the thing. But now if people call this line, if you call right now and you're like, hey, can I book Tracy? And they're like, she never worked here, she doesn't work here, she's never worked here. Like
Wow.
they'll tell you because the
I need to
people that
try
really worked
it.
there were very talented and they got shafted. They got pushed to the back. They would not let them be in shots. And they were really working there. So they were like, where's our exposure? We're really working here. And I always felt bad for them because I was like, this is not fair to you. And we look like the best hairstylists ever. And we're literally like pulling up and brushing the same piece of hair over and over because we're doing the scene 30
I
times.
do see you do that a lot.
Yeah.
You're literally just brushing hair.
They would sit people in my chair and be like, just brush her out and pretend to cut and then just keep doing it, but like never actually style her, because if we have to come back, her hair can't be different. And I'm like, okay, sorry, you're not actually getting a treatment right now, but like, this is the rule. And she's like, it's fine. I'm just happy to be here. And I'm like, I don't know why. You just waited for 14 hours in a holding room. I don't know why. And they're going to cut this scene anyway. So,
yeah. So, okay, so the Sonic fight happens, right? And then there comes a scene where Olivia goes to Mike, which I know he passed, which is so sad. But I know she goes to Mike and she says, like, you know what? I realize even though me and Tracy fought, like, I want to still date you. And he says, you know what? I don't want to. I want to like work out or something. Was that fake?
I don't know. I wasn't there, but.
Okay, because that was like so scary. Watching that, I was like, what the hell was that?
I don't know, but the main producer, would have thrown herself in front of a car to make Olivia look how exactly she wanted her to look. So if she had to have her heart broken and Mike had to look stupid by saying, I can't date you because I want to work out, as if people don't work out and date at the same time, she didn't care, because no matter what she did, Olivia was going to look like the dream she wanted to paint.
Wow. And how was your producer? Did you have like
the same producer? She's produced a ton of shit. The Steve Harvey Show, a lot of other things.
Oh my gosh.
And I think she's very talented and brilliant. I just think that she should have been protecting me as a young girl, and I had zero.
Yeah. So there was a scene, Olivia's friend befriends you. Was that friendship with Briella real?
Yeah, I was friends with Briella. We all became friends. There was a time where Olivia and I were cool. We went to New York to Warren Trachomey.
Yes.
Salon. Okay. So I went up to her and I was like, listen, this is stupid. Like, we don't even have, like, what do we not like about each other? Like, I don't know. Do you know? And she's like, not really. And I was like, okay. And then there was another episode where we like went to a studio, or like, not a podcast then, it was a radio show or something. And I was like, let's just fight for fake. And then we could be cool behind the scenes, because there's no real reason we don't like each other. And she's like, sold, like, let's do it. And the producers were like, okay, ready. We're going to have Tracy and Olivia fight. And we fought and yelled in the parking lot of this radio show. I don't remember what it was about. Yeah. And then after, we started bursting out laughing, and they ripped us apart, and they were like, what the fuck is this? And they were like, you guys cannot be friends. It'll screw up the integrity of this whole show. And I was like, we have no, like, you're doing this, you're creating this hate, and for what reason? And they didn't let it happen. And then she went and said something about my family behind the scenes, and that snapped me out of it. And I was like, never mind, fuck you again.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So we tried.
Yeah.
We tried.
Wow. And I have a lot more questions about YouTube, but
are you mind blown still?
I know. So Frankie and Gigi have a relationship.
They started the pilot dating.
Okay. Were they just freshly dating, or?
I don't remember. I feel like they were dating for like a year.
Okay. Are you trying to tell me that Frankie tried to propose 3 times and was that real? Oh my God. That was fake. I mean,
the man wants to propose to you. He's going to propose to you. And Frankie's not the type of man that he's going to let a producer push him around. Some like nobody from LA push him around and be like, you're going to wait. He's going to be like, no, fuck you. I'm going to do this shit right now.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So she knew that whole thing was like fake.
I don't really know the level of knowledge they had regarding like, hey, you're going to pretend to get proposed today, but you're not. Like, I don't know, because me getting engaged on the show, I didn't know that was coming. So I don't know if they held that from Gigi, but like Frankie would have definitely never allowed them to just like push him around like that. I'm not sure. I can't even really fully speak on that, because I know the real reason that they broke up, but I can't say it and expose it on here, because I'm still a loyal person, even though I fucking hate that bitch. I'm not going to expose the truth, but other cast members know the truth. And so
okay. Well, I mean, she did look like she was not interested in him at one point. So that's why I was like, is this relationship fake? Because here she was crying to get proposed, and then all of a sudden she didn't want to get proposed. So I was so confused by that. I
I
was
don't
so
know, but she was such a flip-flopper and so fucking phony because she didn't like that. She threw the biggest fit in the world when me and Olivia were on the billboard and she wasn't on it.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't like that. So after that, I was not useful to her and Olivia was. So she threw me under the bus. So I couldn't give a fuck less what happens to that girl. Because loyalty is not existent over there. And she said on the show 100 times that we were never friends, blah blah blah. And I was like, we slept at each other's houses every single night, but okay. Noted.
So it was so crazy because like season 1, I'm like, she's such a sweet girl. And then season 2 comes, her and Frankie break up. And all of a sudden I see like a different side of her where she just doesn't seem like that girl, like how Frankie said, who wanted to get married, all of that stuff. And then she kind of like flips and starts being like, I don't know, a completely different person than she was season 1. And I was just so confused by that. And I don't know if it's because she like saw you and Olivia act like that. So she was like, I want to be more in the show, or she started feeling herself more. I was just she is to me the most confusing character of it all.
Yeah. I think she was so unhappy with herself and
Mm-hmm.
thought she was going to be such a more important role. And then when she didn't have the billboard that first year, she like snapped.
Yeah.
And then she fought and then she was in it the second year. So they did appease her and she was paid the top ranks with me and Olivia ranks of $3,000. Very exciting. So like I don't really know, but she had a bipolar up and down moments the whole time and I just couldn't keep up with it. And I to this day like want nothing to do with that girl. I've never been more disgusted by somebody who threw me under the bus like that. Like I was gonna make her part of my wedding. I considered her a very close friend.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And so when did her and Frankie break up? Because I'm on season 3 and do you know?
I don't remember. I literally blacked out most of the show. People are like, "Oh yeah, I met you so many times on the show." I'm like, I don't even remember certain scenes that existed.
Right. No, I know. Me and Chantal
Or
were
Tracy.
because in high school, like I think about my high school and I'm so traumatized by it. And Chantal's always like, you have like trauma and you blocked it out.
Yeah.
And Chantal remembers more about my high school than I do. And I'm like, that's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah,
So
no, I think you go into panic mode and you're just like, I can never think about this again. I've only watched the show ever once through, just so I know what was edited and what wasn't. And I've never watched it again.
oh my gosh, that is just
Someone-
so crazy. Well, hold on. I just want to
Okay,
follow
go
up
ahead.
with the whole Frank. Is Gigi married now? Because like it sounded like she wanted to be married and have kids. You don't know?
I don't know if she's married, but somebody told me she has a baby with some older guy. I don't know.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So she just now, because I was, this has been
Yeah.
so long ago. So I was trying to find her and I couldn't find her. And I'm like, dude, none of them do the hair or makeup anymore. So
I do hair and makeup for
Okay, you
weddings and stuff
do
like
it.
that. Yeah.
okay. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Go ahead, Chantal. Sorry. I'm just so
Oh, no.
invested in this.
I know. Well, someone asked, did you regret your duck nails? The duck nails.
No, I felt like I started a trend like at the time when it was so good to be obnoxious in like those MySpace days. Hi, how are you? I just like I was never able to like express myself the most because we were also obnoxious. So I was like, let me do something totally different. Let's do my nails like different and whatever. And I went with it. And now like Cardi B like wore something similar to that. And I was like, please don't let these resurface, please God. And like they were like, oh, she was so devastated to lose her nails. And I was like, I literally could not have cared, like not a bit less.
Yeah. Well, Olivia was the one really crying about the nails.
Oh yeah. I mean, literally I had not a care in the world.
Yeah.
Was that like your guys' style though? Like how you guys like wore things? Like was that you guys? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were like so obnoxious then. It was like the
Yeah.
matching things to this, to this. We were all very much like that. That was like the MySpace look. And so in that
Yes.
era, like we were just kind of
Jersey.
coming out of that, but like it was still very much alive. And so I feel like with us and Jersey Shore, it all happened like that. And I was like, wow, this is a lot.
I didn't find yours to be too bad now. Like it was still kind of scary back, but that's how it was back then. But Olivia's was really, really like intense and stuff. And then Gigi just like Gigi looked like, like kind of
she had 4
older.
kids and she drove me to dance to soccer.
Yeah. I mean, I have 4 kids and I don't dress like that. So that's how Gigi looked though.
Yeah.
Now, what do you wish people would stop bringing up from the show?
That I like bullied Olivia. I think it's so ridiculous. I think the fact that I just want to say, like, this is why I don't respect her as a person. She knew how fake all of it was, and for her to never step out and say and like confirm what I've said this whole time, to be like, yeah, it was all fake, like it was not real, and blah blah blah. Like I feel like that should have been said. Like she should have been like, listen, like she'll always be like, oh, I don't condone like it. Okay, but you never.
I mean, she
You
kicked
knew
you
the
in the
truth.
head.
You knew the truth, and that's why I
Yes.
just don't respect like the person that she is. I really want nothing but good things. I hope she does well in her life. I'll never be friends with her
Well,
Yeah.
because I would have said it.
Gail also came out and she did like I don't know what it was. I sent you the clip. It was like a podcast or something. And she said the entire show was fake. Absolutely.
It was.
Every single thing about the show was fake. She's like, no one worked here. So
Yes.
I mean, Gail is backing you up there saying that this show was
Yes.
completely fake. So it is weird, but I'm looking at it as how she's looking at it. And she, at the time, I do remember, got more love than you did.
Yeah.
Because you were the villain. So of course she's not going to be like the whole thing was fake because everyone was like, oh, Olivia's like super, super sweet.
No. She's never going to say that because that would ruin the image that she's created of.
Yeah.
I'm the sweet, like,
Yeah.
and Tracy's the big bad bitch. Like I for sure am. I can be if you push me to that, but I'm the most loyal person out there. As a matter of fact, I know secrets about every single one of them, and I have yet to spill them because even though I don't like you, I don't ever want you to hurt your image and like to ruin you. So I will die with those. But like the loyalty that I have to the show, not to them, that I keep quiet because it would hurt the producers. It would hurt the integrity of the show. It would hurt the integrity of relationships that should have never happened between producers and cast.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, sick shit.
Yeah. Like, don't you think it's kind of unfair? Like right now, for example, Roxanne just bought the season. I think it was on Amazon, and you guys don't get anything from
Not
it.
a dollar.
Right?
I almost don't want people to find it because I'm like, you're just feeding these people more money off us.
Wow.
I
Oh my God.
know.
I'm sure I could have found a way to watch it for free, but like I had no patience to like
I
find
think
it.
it's on like Hulu, which
Hulu?
I don't know if that's free or not.
It's on Hulu Premium, which I need to just like upgrade at this point and just get that. So I have been buying them. I'm just like, whatever, like, $10. So how much did you get paid from season 1 to how many seasons was it? 5 or 6?
So I think the first season was 10, and then we were like shocked that they bought 20 episodes per season for the rest of the show.
Yes, I'm watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is there so many episodes?
It jumped because it was such a success that they were like 20 episodes. Like we got to do it. We have plenty of content for this. So we were like, this is like the biggest thing ever. The fact that we hit 100 episodes or something like that was like major for us for like a no name anybody.
Yeah.
So like each season, Roxanne, would be around like 60,000, which that's like how much the Jersey.
Wait, you still got paid season 3, like 3,000 till season 6 in episodes?
Yeah, we never got anything else.
Oh my God, are you joking? Why didn't anyone negotiate that? That's crazy.
I think it was season 3. The beginning of season 3, we're like, you guys, we got 20 episodes. We're not getting paid enough. So meanwhile, everyone in the rest of the cast is getting 1,500.
Oh my God.
So they were like, we have to do something. We have to do something. And then we're like, but we all have to be on board. And we were all on board. And then Olivia backed out. And we're like, well, we can't do it without her. But of course not, because she's not going to go against them.
Wow. So you guys literally were making 3,000 an episode from season 1, and it never changed on season 5 or 6. Oh my gosh, that is.
And like think about the example of like Jersey Shore, which you guys were just like so popular too, and they got to like 100,000 an episode, $1 million an episode at the time, which was
because
crazy.
They stuck together.
Yes, exactly.
And the only reason that we didn't get another season after that was because Esquire came and bought Style Network, and it was on like a men's network or something where they wanted to post fishing and I don't know, hunting, and we were like, clearly Jersey and makeup and leopard is not going to fit the thing. So they just sold the episodes to whatever. E played it and Bravo played it and whatever, like back. Like
were you happy when it was ending? Like, or were you kind of like lost? Like, what am I doing?
I hated that show so much. I hate every moment of it. I hated going to work. I dreaded. I would cry on my way to work. I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. Like it was the best and worst experience of my life. Like I learned so much, and I did meet like people that I'm still friends with to this day. So I'm very grateful for that. And like even fans that of the show, I like babysat them. Like they turned into like family. Like I treated everyone when they came in. Like everyone is important. And like I gained a lot of love from that, and I can't say I regret it because it's why I'm here today with like still doing stuff like this, but I the trauma from that, like I may never recover from like certain things that
Yeah. And
Yeah.
And you guys, Roxanne harassed Tracy so many times to get her on this podcast. So
Well, I
we're
did.
sorry
I
for the
know. I'm like, can we do it?
PTSD.
Are we going to do it? Can we do it? Because I did want to hear. And I remember being so, Chantal, we were like distraught when the show ended because there was no closure. And I don't know how old we were. I think we were probably young at the time, but I was like, why is this show ending? Or wait, how old were you, Chantal? I don't even know. But
We
I was
no, we graduated high school. So like we're
like,
not like we're like 4 years
yeah,
into
I guess. Yeah. But
graduation.
I was like, why is the show ending? I feel like there was no closure to the ending of the show.
so I will give you closure. Ready?
Okay.
If we had gone to season 7, the salon that my husband bought me
Oh, yes.
was
People are
not
asking.
a gift from him. It was the new Gatsby, and I was going to be running it. It was going to be
Oh.
my salon, and I was going to hire people, and it was going to be moving from like they'd still show Gatsby, but they were moving it into a new salon for new drama and new people, and I was going to be the Gale. And he
Oh.
didn't buy it. Production was going to buy the space, and now it's a bridal boutique.
Oh my,
Oh
so
my.
he never bought it. It was just
Never
for
bought it. That wasn't a gift from him. That was a gift from production. People are always like, "What happened to the salon your husband bought you?" I'm like, "That never happened. It was all fake." He and I knew that. We knew that we were going into season 7, like going to be running a salon. That's what it was.
when you found out, when everyone found out. I know that like, it was traumatic and like you're older now. So you look back and you're like, I can't believe I put up with that stuff. But were you a little sad when it ended at the
Oh
time?
no. I mean, at the time we were like chauffeured around. We were doing whatever we wanted. We were getting food for free, lunch for free. They were paying for our apartments because we all lived in the same apartment complex.
What?
Me,
Oh
Gigi,
my
and Olivia,
gosh.
right above each other in the same apartment complex, and they painted it as Gigi and Olivia lived together and I lived in a different place. That's wrong. They had us all living in one place so they could check on us at all times and make sure we were where we needed to be. I lived on the bottom floor, Gigi right above me, and Olivia right above that. We
That
all
is
shared the
so
same elevator.
controlling.
Yeah, it was very, very fake. We lived at the Ave in Union, New Jersey.
Wow.
So like there were times where I would be laying out by the pool and they'd be like, "You can't be here. We're filming a scene." So I'd have to go back into my apartment because they were filming a scene without me. Like
Oh my gosh. This is like kind of scary stuff. I've
it was
never
very scary. The fact that they had so much control over us. Like they would be like, I used to always wear pink sugar. Do you remember that perfume?
Yeah, I
So
love that.
I loved it too.
right. I mean, and sometimes it's like my go-to when I'm leaving the house. I'll just spray it really
Yeah,
quick
I
and go.
still like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would get into the elevator and they'd be like, "Tracy was here." And they'd
Oh
text me and they'd be like, are you at your apartment? I just smelt you in the elevator." And I was like, that is next level crazy because you guys know where I am, what I'm doing at all times. Like I have to have freedom. I'm now 23, 4 years old. And like you guys are still hunting me down.
What did your parents say?
They
yeah.
hated it. They wanted no part of it.
Yeah.
As you guys know, they didn't attend the wedding that I had.
Yeah.
Like it was very, very bad timing because they were like, the person that you are being portrayed at is not our daughter. Like,
Oh.
and I was like, that's why I'm so hurt by it because like produced me to be this person that my parents didn't even recognize because I wasn't. And they
Yeah.
like, and it was hard because they were like, people would come up to them and be like, "I hate your daughter. Like,
Oh
she's
my
horrible."
gosh.
And like, it was a really, really hard time in my life. So I like have such animosity and hatred for them for that reason.
Yeah.
So I couldn't wait for it to be done. Also, we signed something that said we couldn't compete for 3 years after. So I had all these offers to do a show with me and Corey, and I
Wow.
couldn't do it because there was a non-compete.
What
Wow.
does he want you to do?
Like a spin-off of My Life Married.
No. But like, why did you have to sign that if they have no plans on?
No, that was a part of the contract. Every year that we like
Wow.
we had, yeah, when we first signed it, it's like we have you for 10 years. Hopefully the show runs that long and you can't do anything. Like there's NDAs and non-competes, but that has since expired. And then I started singing because I was like, I need to get all this out. Like the NDA is like yeah.
You guys were young and excited. So you
Yeah.
guys like probably signed it off. And before you did the show, though, what were your parents thinking when you told them you're going to go on the show?
they were like, be careful. You never know. Like they try to manipulate people and you got to be careful. And I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like 21-year-olds know
Yeah.
everything. Don't
Yeah,
you
you're
know? Like we know everything. So
yeah, you're not going to miss out on this opportunity.
no, of course. I was like, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Like, and they were like, you don't. And you're young and impressionable and hungry for money and they're going to use you for that. And they did. And I let it happen.
How is your relationship with your parents now?
Oh no, once I had my kids, like it all brought us back together.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And they tried to like Corey, they just never did. And now I look back in hindsight 2020, I see why, but they just saw what I didn't see. And now once we got the divorce, it was like they were very on board to help me get out of it because they were like, we need you to be back where you're safe. And
Yeah.
So I'm not at the seasons yet because again, everyone knows I'm doing a rewatch where you meet Corey. So I remember him, I don't know, because obviously it could be different now. I remember him being like good, I think. So, but now I have to watch back. Like I was trying to watch, but I didn't make it till this interview. But now I'm so curious to watch like how he was. I know you guys moved in within a week and that's like a very scary red flag, but okay. So a lot of people asked this about him and I don't want to say, some people were like, what's going on with the baby daddy? Is he still a loser? And I'm like, wait, I don't know. Like what happened with you and him? Or are people being like kind of harsh on him? Or I don't know.
I'm trying to think of the right way to say it without being angry woman X.
Yeah.
Like negative, but there's no child support. The courts just took the kids away from him in April because of his failure to comply and his lack of responsibility financially for the kids.
Is his family freaking out about that?
His family, in my opinion, enables the whole situation.
Okay.
That's what usually happens.
I'm very close with all of his aunts and cousins and everything, and they have no relationship with him. So I mean, when your own family is like being friends with the ex, I feel like that says a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always checked up on the family, made sure like I stayed in contact, and I'm going to the wedding with his cousin. So I have no relationship with Corey or his sister. His one sister, I do have like a very civil interaction with, because he lives in her home. I feel awful for her because I know what she must be going through.
Yeah.
And he tells anybody who will listen that I keep the kids away from him, which is insane because any single mother would know like 2 days would be a great reset to have like your own time, especially if you have a really serious boyfriend who lives 2 hours away. I would love to see. I am not keeping anyone from anyone. The courts are so disgusted with the behavior that they've seen in 4 years since my divorce that they've taken it upon themselves to remove the children from his home.
Wow.
Or visitation is what he had. He wasn't like a full-on father. He was an every other weekend visitation.
Oh my God. That is so sad. I'm so sorry, especially for your kids, because I just can't imagine that.
That's
but
horrible.
You seem like you do such an amazing job with them. So thank God that they have you. But I know that it doesn't take away, from.
Yeah, it's like the stress of it. It's horrible.
Exactly.
Why did you guys get divorced?
I did. So I have a podcast also. It's called Bad
Okay, tell
Examples.
us.
Yeah, and I did a whole episode, a tell-all, the truth revealed, or whatever we fucking called it.
Yeah.
Wait, say the podcast name again real quick, because
Bad Examples podcast.
Bad Examples. Okay.
Yeah, it's just me and my co-host, who's also from the show, who are giving reckless advice when we have no business and it's more of like a girl fun talk. It's very
fun.
like girl talk. It's super fun.
Yeah.
So we did an episode on there and I said everything what it was. It basically I found escort services and by the hour hotels in my navigation of my car, cheating, lying, drugs, the whole thing. Like I found all of it. And
That's
at one point, just like, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Good for you for leaving. Cause sometimes people stay. And so
I'm not that person. I will try to justify it for a little and be like, maybe we can get him help.
Yeah.
and try to help. Cause like, I don't go into a marriage being like, well, when it gets hard, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
I stuck around for a lot of things, like
Yeah.
his rehab and a lot of other things that I stuck around for. But when it came to like, he took my daughter's tooth fairy money one time, and that was like I was like, I'm
Oh
done.
no.
Oh my God.
Because he
I
had
can
like very
literally,
serious
I
gambling
just want
addiction.
that. Oh my gosh. That's literally the worst thing to have too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my co-host was there when it happened. I put the $10 on the table for her tooth. And then when we came back, he was the only one in the kitchen, and he was like, I'm like, where's the money? I'm gonna go put it upstairs. And Jessica was there, and he's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, what? And so he helped us look in the garbage and all these other, and I was just like,
Oh my God. Ew. Yeah. You don't know who you're
yeah.
married to.
No, it was the biggest ick of my life. I was like,
Yeah.
I need to get my kids out of here. This is disgusting.
Were you the only one working? Because I mean, as an influencer too, even getting paid for posts, like that's a job. Like, were you the only one?
So I was covering the rent, and he was covering the bills and the extra fun stuff. So we split it, and I was I was contributing to the household. Yeah. And then at the end, I realized he had linked my debit card to his train to New York City for work, his Uber's accounts. And I realized like all my money was disappearing. And it was because he was using my cards for everything.
Wow. Someone had asked, do you regret not listening to Olivia and Gigi when they warned you about Corey?
I mean, like, I appreciate them doing that, but like, I don't think they really, it was not like that in the beginning. At one point, we were very in love and like very happy. And then his dad passed, and I think he never got the proper trauma or therapy for that. And like, downhill spiral. That's why I tried to stick around as long as possible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was really, really hard because I'm not the person to just up and leave and give up. But you can only withstand so much before you.
Right.
And so now he like is trying to like cover his tracks and be like, oh, she keeps the kids from me, and she's doing this, and she's a horrible mother, and blah blah blah, and like going live with his friends and
Oh
talking.
my God. Ew. That's
just
so ick. So ick.
Everyone knows when someone does that.
I'm concerned for the world when a man at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Monday goes live with his friends on what I assume is a blunt ride, and no one's wondering why this man is not at a job.
Exactly.
I just am concerned for the world. Like, where is the thought process here of like that? And he texted me yesterday. He's incapable of income.
Oh my God.
Incapable of income, Tracy. Give me a break. There's children in other countries that are working in factories that are
Get a job. Mm-hmm.
Right. It does sound like there's some enabling there, though, for sure. That's the type of
beyond.
Yeah, doesn't sound like you could fix something like that. So I'm so sorry that you're going through that. But if people want to listen, definitely go to your podcast to listen to the full story. So, to not talk anymore about this guy, God, why was the show unable to find like a new network after this network shut it down? It was a successful show.
Yeah, so they did, it was going, Bravo had interest and E had interest. And then I think they were just like, we have too many shows at the time, and they just didn't even have the budget to cover it, or they were just like, we don't want to add more things right now. So it was a lot at one point, and I think it just didn't line up. But then Bravo ended up playing the reruns anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like we could have made it work, but I don't even know like how much more I had in me anyway.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see it end.
I mean, Bravo should have taken it though, because you guys were getting paid nothing.
We were like slave workers. Seriously.
Yeah, you guys were literally getting paid nothing. So especially for what you guys are doing, all that you're putting out there, and because how were the ratings? Do you remember?
Oh my God, they were so good. They were. I don't remember the numbers at this point, but I remember our producers being like, "This is next level." Like, we can't believe that like this is the show that's getting this type of attention. And it was like all over the world, like Australia and Europe and all these other places. I was like, I can't even fathom that like we're there.
Right. Yeah.
It was so weird to me. I just could not put together that like that was real life. And it was so overwhelming as like a kid to have all that exposure. And then with that comes a lot of hate, obviously. And like to this day now, like people are still like, I mean, there's always one comment on every picture I post, like, oh, I hope you're on another show, or I hope you're doing Housewives or something. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not rich and I have no husband. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
we would love to see you on Housewives. But when you watch, do you ever watch any of the Real Housewives?
Yeah, well, I'm friendly with all of them. Well, most of them.
When you
So
see like, and when you see that show, do you see, like, the little things that maybe they get fed,
so
the
hard.
line?
It's so hard
Okay.
to watch.
It's so hard to watch because you can
Yeah.
see that it's a little bit
Hmm.
scripted and produced and
Oh, I can tell immediately what was staged and what wasn't.
yeah, wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, that's why I have a soft spot for some people that I know other people don't like, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I know that person in real life and I know how I could visualize how it went down and then how it was cut and edited. And it's
Yeah.
so hard because I can't get involved or explain it to people, but like it is very hard. And I
Yeah.
know that theirs is maybe a little more reality than ours was,
Yeah.
because ours was the beginning of reality TV and they've mastered the way to do this now, but it's still very obvious to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of questions about the Real Housewives, but I thought about this. The one thing that was kind of gross to me is when you guys were having that Sonic fight, not once did a producer step in. I
That
thought
one
that,
producer, when I hit her, stepped in, and it was the producer that both she and I were the most close with.
okay,
Wow.
so why would no one, how
They
did no one,
wanted that. That was wonderful ratings for them. That was
and,
exactly what
and
they
no
needed
one
to do.
commented on it after. And I always wondered, because I was like, Gail seems pretty strict. Why didn't she say, like, you guys could not do that? No one said anything after, but it's because you guys were never actually employed for Gail.
Right. Yeah.
And what did
As
she
she
get
said
hit?
in the video, Gail said in the video, I would have never entertained. They would have lasted a week at my place if they were real employees. She would have
Wow.
fired us immediately, but she had no control over it because we were employees of the show, and Mall USA is the production company,
Yes.
not of Gatsby Salon.
Because usually now, like if a fight happens, a producer is stepping in. And when I watched that, I was like, why is no producers? Like people at
We had
Sonic,
no security. We had
yeah.
nothing. They loved those moments. They will tell you, we don't condone violence, but it does make good TV. And I'm like,
But
what?
wow. And then when Olivia kicked you in the head,
That was really a fucked up moment. It was really
yeah,
fucked
like it sucks because I'm
I
not
just
there
can't
yet.
believe, yeah, like that would
Yeah, so
never happen now.
I don't remember because I'm not there yet after as a rewatch. But did anything happen to her? Did anything happen to you when you guys got this? Like, or nothing happened?
So I met that guy I was dating. I don't even remember his name that night. He was an extra. They brought him in as a date because they had to set it up where Mikey and him were going to face off. And then they knew that they were like, you have to go over to Tracy's table. Like they were telling her, you got to go over with Mike to her table. And like, I knew that. And then for me, it was like, Olivia, you know that they're setting us up. So like, let's get it together and like not be pawns to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And then it got out of control. I got knocked unconscious because those are big men and they fell on top of me and I hit my head. And I don't remember anything from that. When I watch it back, I'm like, I guess I remember, but like I don't remember it in the moment because I was out.
Wow. Were
I had
producers
to go to the
scared?
hospital after. They had to check me for a concussion. They were
Oh
like,
my
you have a concussion. She can't
gosh.
film for the next 2 days or whatever. It was just
I
like,
mean, you got kicked in the head too, like that.
right.
That
So
was
that was
crazy.
my thing. Like, how come when I spit in your face, I get dragged since 2012, and then you
Right.
kick me in the head and still the angel? Like, that was
Yeah. That was crazy though. That did
Because everyone had their sides at the time. Like everyone
well,
just
everybody already decided by
I
then.
yes.
feel like people, if they rewatched it now that we're older, it would be a little bit different. But I feel like we're producers scared. Like if I was a producer of the show, I'd be so scared that that's your head. Like that's crazy. Did they come across like scared or anything?
No, the
Or
PAs, the production assistants, were all like, "Oh my god, we have to check on her," and then like they would text me like, "Hey, are you okay?" But those were PAs; those were not producers. Like,
okay,
I
wow,
don't
like
feel like the producers gave a shit about me at all.
wow, that's really shitty.
Yeah.
Um, was your relationship with Anthony legit?
I mean, yeah, we all had very close, like I said, we were spending like 20 out of 24 hours a day together. Like, oh, always locked in like a room of some sort. In the beginning, we were locked in like a carpet place where they would rent out the carpet place and we'd all just hang in there, and there was just like rugs everywhere, and they'd just sit us somewhere and be like, hey, I'll bring you food. And there was it was called the craft table, and that's where we got like snacks and whatever. So we did not leave the quarters ever.
Wow.
So you gain relationships with these people. Like I was very close with Kathy. I was very close with Filippo. I was close with Anthony, but um like as we definitely grew apart. I still have a relationship with like Kathy Giove and Filippo and Frankie.
Well, Anthony's older too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like in a different place. I think people
Yeah.
just grow apart. I'm not like I'm not salty about it, but like there was a dinner that they wanted to have. They're like, we're gonna do an OG dinner and we're all gonna go out together. And I was like, I'm not going to that. And they're like, why? I'm like, because I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to like people that all of you have talked shit about. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So they all went out without me. And they went live, and I didn't realize because I was like, "Oh my God, Gail's live! I wonder what this is. It must be so funny." And then I was like, "Shit, it's the dinner that they went to." And then
Wow.
I was on the live, and like Christy and Olivia were like, "Oh my God, we miss you. We wish you were here." And I was like, "You see why? This is the fakest shit. You don't wish I was there.
Right.
That's so fake. Like this is
Yeah.
exactly why I didn't show up because
Yeah.
they'll say anything for like people to like the audience to like them, and I was never that person. I'm not going to fake it for the audience to like me.
I feel like at this point, you know, because you have come out a few times and said the show was completely fake, and Gail has too, and Olivia didn't. I feel like you guys should have at least had a conversation to be like, man, what happened when we were young was crazy. And that way you guys could have at least like, even though like you guys are fine, but like, I'm just saying, at least you guys could have like moved on because you guys both experienced something, even though yours was a lot more intense because you were portrayed as the villain.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what, I don't know. I feel like I'd reach out and be like,
I
dude.
feel like I'm just a good judge of character of the people, of friends that I want in my life. And I just don't see that being a person that I want as my friend ever.
Yeah.
So it's not worth my effort. And like, I
Okay.
already have no free time because my life revolves around my kids and like
Yeah.
not partying and doing
Right.
till 5 a.m. So I don't like want to be in that world. And I think I'm okay with like never being there. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't care if I ever see these people again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's talk New Jersey. You were friend, or you are friends with Danielle Cabral.
Okay. 1 second. I have housekeeping here at my
Oh
house.
yeah,
Can
go.
I move this into the hallway? Do you
Yes,
mind
Yeah.
a change of
yeah.
scenery? Will it
Yeah,
mess you
no,
guys
no,
up?
it's okay.
No, it's totally
Because they're
fine.
gonna come over here, and I want to not ruin
Okay.
the.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just head outside. I know the lighting may be different. I'm trying to find good
Here.
lighting.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
it's
care.
okay.
So I'll address all of that. Which is
Okay.
wild.
I know. I heard.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. I mean, this is it was hell,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Okay. No, it's totally
It's
fine.
actually
I'm
good.
in
It
my
looks
kid's room. It's fine.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and like ask the question again.
Okay.
So you were at a party with Danielle Cabral. Are you guys friends? What's your relationship like?
So Danielle had that bougie kids line for a long time. And when my kids were little, they would model for her stuff because she reached out to me, can I send your kids stuff? She wanted the promotion, obviously, which of course, happy to promote, put them in it, promoted her, posted it, whatever. So we like maintained like a hi bye relationship on basically social media, nothing in depth.
Yeah.
But like a year maybe ago, we were like, we should get lunch, we should go out, we should do this, blah, blah, blah. Cause now she was more comfortable with being in the spotlight. And she was like, I feel like I want to do that now and whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do whatever. I'm down for whatever. Um, and then when she bashed Lena
Okay. Yeah.
on the show, I'm friends with Lena.
Yeah.
And even though that's not my fight and I'm not going to get involved, I went publicly and said, Lena, you're an amazing person. I'm very sorry that anyone ever made you feel like this. You do not deserve that, blah, blah, blah. And Danielle didn't like it. So she and her husband unfollowed me, which to me is like high school as fuck, but
Yeah.
you do. And I didn't know that. So like then she's posting photos of Nate like shirtless or whatever. And I was like, you look great. Don't listen to what anybody says. Like, I'm always like happy to
Yeah.
amp everybody up. You know what I mean? I want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
So you look great. Only thing that matters is what your wife thinks, blah, blah, blah. And somebody messaged me and goes, why are you so supportive of them when they both unfollowed you? And I was
Oh
like,
my
I
gosh.
didn't know that.
Wow.
News to me. So I went and looked and they both unfollowed me. So I text her. I'm like, what is the issue?
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem?
Good
And
for
she
you
was
for
like,
doing that.
Oh, I have no ill will. I just don't think, with things that have gone on in the past, we just realized who we wanted in our lives and who we didn't.
Oh my God.
And
She's
I
such
was like,
a mess.
girl, you are burning the wrong fucking bridges because I'm not the fucking one.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
not the one. So I
It,
said that to her and she never answered. So
it sounds like with her, fame got to her head. Obviously, this is something that she's always wanted. So then when she got the fame, like her real self came out, even though I felt like people could probably see that with her before that. Do you know?
she's very, very clear that I've always wanted to be famous. I moved to
Yeah.
California to be famous. I had to bring her down to earth again and be like, by the way, when you were introduced to your show, they used my show to explain you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is Danielle. She's so Jerseylicious. Like, sweetie, that's me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That
So
is
like
crazy.
the disrespect of like just not being like, listen, like I understand you're friends with Lena. Listen, I would love if you just don't get involved and blah blah blah. I would be like
100%.
100% agree. You're
Yes.
right. I shouldn't
Mhm.
say anything. I will comfort Lena in my own time, blah blah blah, when I'm with her, if that bothered her. But being like childish and unfollowing me, and then like I don't know, it just get left a very bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
She
that's very weird.
cut off her dad. She doesn't speak to like her brother. Do you know anything about why she doesn't speak to her brother?
No, I
No.
wasn't that close with her. I feel like I didn't owe her, like I didn't betray her for Lena. I'm very
Yeah.
close with Lena. So I felt like I would be not being
You're
a
being
good friend to
loyal.
Lena if I didn't say like you're an awesome person. She is. She's wonderful. And Lena could buy that whole fucking show, by the way.
Yeah,
No.
we've
We,
met
we know
Lena.
Lena. We know we've
Okay, Lena could purchase Real Housewives by
Yes.
herself.
yeah, we've hung out with Lena. We
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
we hung out there in Vegas. So we
So
would
when I'm like, hey guys, I don't belong on that show, it's because I'm not rolling in like
Lena
yeah.
money.
my rent isn't 20 grand. Like I'm not doing it.
But either is
Um,
Danielle's.
What?
Either is Danielle's.
Well, Danielle wanted me on the show.
Oh, she did.
She was trying to pitch me to the network
Wow.
because she knew I would go on as a friend.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I said to her, like, Danielle, I'm not rich. I'm just an average mom. Like, I don't have a husband. I don't have somebody like, and if I was in California, I don't think it would matter as much, but Jersey husbands, it's important
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is a huge part of the show, that they all get along and whatever. I was like, I don't have that. So I don't feel like I fit in, and I don't feel like I'm right for it. And she was like, try anyway, talk to them. And then this happened. And I'm like, touched by an angel, because if I had gone on there now, like, you would not like me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
But I
when I
also
see
feel like
childish behavior, I don't run with that.
I also feel like Jersey, because you have your own name, you don't need that, maybe that kind of stuff. It's like you're bringing in something else other than that, and I think they might like it.
People keep saying, like, we need to get you back on TV. And I do have, I have been casted for a few other things.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I can't talk about those yet,
Okay.
but their contracts were signed and whatever. So we'll see
That's
how that
exciting.
goes. But that was my thing. It was like, I liked Danielle because I liked her as a person. It didn't matter to me. Like, my name was bigger than yours.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Still
so
is.
I didn't care. Like, I didn't
When
need you
she
for that. I
feels
liked you as a person, and now you showed me a different version, and now I don't like it.
right, but when she feels like, she's now what she wanted to always be, she's easy to like, boss up a little bit, I feel like. Yeah.
I mean, good for her, whatever works for you. But I still think her husband is wonderful. I think he's so sweet. I obviously know he was railroaded into unfollowing me because he's always
Obviously.
very kind to me when I've seen him. And
Yeah. Why aren't you friendly with Sam anymore?
who's that?
I don't know. Someone asked that. Are we talking about Sam from Jersey Shore?
I have no
I
idea.
don't know who that is either.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Someone asked it on the Ask Tracy. So I'm like,
Maybe Sammy? Sammy from Jersey Shore?
that's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
not friends with him. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody on Jersey Shore? Like, were you friends with anybody?
So Nicole and I don't not get along. I grew up with her husband.
Mm.
And when we were both coming up with our shows, like when I saw him out one day, I ran over. I was like, "Oh my God, hi, how are you?" Blah blah blah. And she didn't like it. And from then on, she was like, "I don't like her." She blocked me. I blocked her. We just.
Oh my gosh.
You guys are crazy over there.
I very much cannot stand Angelina. I have a huge fucking issue with her.
Oh, wow.
She's psychotic and like cornered me in the bathroom with Gabriella's to like beg me to be her friend
Oh,
a few months ago. And I think she's unhinged and
yeah.
mentally needs attention.
A
I
lot of
think
people
a
on
lot of
this
people,
show think that. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my,
So I stay very far away from her. I think that she's the type that'll stab you in your sleep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked, this is a very important question.
I'm
Are you,
scared to hear it.
are you team Teresa or team Melissa?
Oh, okay. This is easy for me because when my show came out, Melissa and I would hang out. Joe would hang out with Corey. We'd all go out and like do some fun stuff. And like since her show and mine doesn't exist and her show is still on, she always says hello when I see her, but we're not like friendly. We're not like going out or texting or anything like that. And I have a very surface relationship with Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I also know Teresa is in her heart, such a good person. And I do feel like she gets shafted. And I hate
Okay.
that for her because you can very easily see on House of Villains how fun she has in her when
Yes.
she's removed from that atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
And I knowing that how they create villains, it's hard for me to watch. So I have a very soft spot for what they do. But I also, I'm not in it as deep as other people. So I can't speak on it. I'm friendly with everyone on Housewives, like Dolores and Marge and Jen were cool. Like I like everybody. I don't really know Rachel. And Melissa and I don't really speak, but she always says hello. So I don't have a team. I just like, I really do like Teresa. I think she really she gets in her own way. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like she can't like get above water sometimes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she means really well. And she's very good to my cousin who owns a boutique.
Oh, okay.
Snob. She's there all the time. She takes very good care of her. And you have to be a good person to do that. So
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. We like that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really
I was
do feel
scared.
bad for anybody who's played as the villain. My heart breaks for them because I know most of the time they're not. They're just in like imagine lights and cameras on you at all time. It's exhausting, and then trying to protect children, and then dating and not knowing, and you never know who you're getting involved with. I think it's very confusing to do in the public eye. So I do my heart breaks for her sometimes, but I don't have issues with anyone except for like I would say I don't really love Danielle anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so our last question for you. Any regrets that you have from the show at all?
I think being like very naive was stupid as hell. I should have gone in there like a little tougher and not let people like push me around producer wise. I obviously regret the Sonic fight. I think that was very unnecessary, but I do remember the feeling in the moment and like that is true to myself. Like I just didn't like being bombarded like that, but that would be my only regret. I think I treated cast and crew and everybody with the utmost respect. I still know and communicate with some of the crew members, like the lighting guy and the sound guy, and like like I respect everybody, and I think everyone's important to the working machine. So I can't say that about other people on the show.
Yeah.
I do. Well, I have one actually other question, but I'm invested in Frankie's parents. Are they still good?
Yeah, I talk to Frankie all the time. He's such a sweetheart. Oh my God, he was so roughly portrayed also. He deleted social for like 10 years because he's like,
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't take the abuse. And people are so mean to him. And he is such a wonderful person. Like,
Why were people mean to him? I don't get it.
He was like,
Like
very rough. Or if you're not from New York and New Jersey, he seems rough on the show.
He seemed like a typical Italian guy. His dad was always like, "Mom, make me food."
Yeah,
but like,
and like,
it's
people
funny.
thought down on that, and I hate that because they are really like very sweet people. Frankie and Mikey, his brother, like wonderful, wonderful people. Like,
did he get married?
No.
Oh,
To Brooklyn, that girl Brooklyn. No, he's single now. So he's
How
single,
old-
ladies.
how old are you guys now? I mean, you have 3 kids, not like age. Now I'm gonna get so much hate because I'm asking like, wait, no one's married, but
I know. No, it's okay. Everyone's on like their own wild.
yeah, I know. How old are you?
I'm 37 in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes. Like they were around our age, like 4 years.
It's just crazy because like I remember his mom, like she wanted him to get married so badly. So I kind of just feel bad for his mom, like that he's not married still. And is the other one married at least and have kids?
I think her other son is in a serious relationship, but I don't know if they're married. I don't think so.
But the parents are still married.
Yeah. They're still together.
Okay,
Everyone's doing good over there. They're all good.
Okay,
And
good.
Filippo just had a baby.
Wait, who did?
Filippo.
Oh, yes, I saw that. I found his
Cute.
Instagram, and I saw he has like I'm sure his wife, and he has 2 kids. So I saw that. So I love seeing that because I feel like you guys wanted families, and I like seeing it.
I mean, I don't regret anything
Yeah.
other than like having kids with who I had them. I want to say like, oh, people are like watching you have kids with, like, I would not have had those kids. Like, I don't care what headache I have to go through because my kids are so amazing, and I would never even change the person to have different kids. Like, I am very, very happy. My son is, I don't know if you know, he's blind and deaf legally, so and it's just a struggle with like, but he was meant for me. Like, these kids were meant for me, and I'm very, very grateful. And I will endure whatever I go through with the ex just to have them. So like, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad that we finally did this. I swear I've never been more excited about an interview.
She really is telling the truth.
I don't know. I'm telling you, Jerseylicious is like what got me into reality TV. I watched it before I watched Real Housewives. So I was so excited to do this, but we thank you so much. I'm definitely going to be in your DMs because I still want to finish the season, and now I'm going to like think of more questions. But
she's going to block you. She's like,
I know, right? But we thank you so much for doing this, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you guys so much.
And your
You're both so beautiful, so sweet.
Oh, you are.
You so much.
I want to get my hair like yours.
Yeah.
Right? This is like such an unhinged move. I'm like, I swear my boyfriend didn't break up with me. I just like wanted to do something different.
Yes. Wait, hold on. So wait, I'm so sorry. You have a boyfriend now? How long have you guys been dating? Last question.
We actually haven't like announced when we started dating. We just like about a year.
Okay.
But he's like wonderful, and he never wanted kids, and he has taken on the father role like I've never seen before, and like loves them so much. So
that's really cute.
Hopefully, like he's like the person that I have said my whole life, like never again, I'm never getting married, and like I changed my tune for him.
You have to find a really special person to feel that, especially after like what you go through, like what you went through. So we're so happy for you. Well, we hope that happens too. And we thank you so much. We hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.